I was an ordinary young man. I lived an ordinary life. Then something extraordinary happened. A spark ignited within me. It began subtly, a whisper in the silence of my soul, a feeling of connection, a sense of something larger than myself. It was unsettling, this feeling. It was also exhilarating. I had never been religious. I didn't grow up in a church. Yet I felt drawn to something beyond the tangible world. I began to meditate. I sought solace in nature. The rustling leaves, the babbling brooks, they spoke to me. They whispered secrets of the universe. My mind became a canvas. Visions flashed before my eyes, vivid, perplexing, and profound. They came in dreams, in moments of quiet contemplation. I saw a world on the brink, teetering between light and darkness. I saw humanity lost, adrift in a sea of materialism and despair. Driven by an unseen force, I started to write. I filled journals with my visions. I wrote of a coming storm, a spiritual awakening, and a battle for the soul of humanity. I wrote of hope, of resilience, of the power that lies dormant within us all. The visions intensified, growing clearer, more urgent. I saw symbols, dates, and faces. I saw cities consumed by chaos and heard the cries of a world in pain. I felt a responsibility, a heavy mantle settling on my shoulders. I had to warn the world. I had to share my visions. I started with my friends and family. I shared my concerns, my fears, my hopes. Some listened with open hearts, intrigued by my sincerity. Others dismissed me as a dreamer, a lost soul chasing shadows. Undeterred, I sought out religious leaders, politicians, anyone who would listen. I wrote letters, sent emails, and stood on street corners, my voice hoarse from sharing my truth. I spoke of a coming apocalypse, a spiritual reckoning. I spoke of an invisible army, a force of light that would rise to combat the encroaching darkness. Rejection met me at every turn. I was labeled a madman, a fanatic, a danger to society, yet I couldn't be silenced. I felt the weight of my visions, the urgency of my mission. I knew deep in my heart that I was not crazy. I was a messenger. I was undeterred by the skepticism that greeted me. I felt a fire in my belly, a conviction that burned brighter with each dismissive glance, each scoff of disbelief. I understood. I was a messenger bearing news no one wanted to hear. I continued to write, my journals overflowing with warnings, prophecies, and glimmers of hope. I saw myself as a conduit, a vessel through which a higher power was communicating with humanity. It was a lonely path, fraught with doubt and despair, yet I persisted. I knew I couldn't force anyone to believe me. I could only plant seeds, offer my truth, and hope that it would take root. I began to share my writings online, creating a blog where I poured out my heart and soul. I found solace in connecting with others who felt a similar pull, a similar sense of urgency. I realized I wasn't alone. There were others, scattered across the globe, who saw the world through the same lens. They were artists, writers, musicians, and activists, all united by a shared vision of a world on the brink of transformation. My online presence grew. My words resonated with a growing number of individuals, people from all walks of life, united by a shared sense of unease, a yearning for something more. They found solace in my words, my unwavering belief in a brighter future. One day I received a message. It was cryptic, intriguing, and filled with the same symbolic language that populated my visions. It was from a group calling themselves the Digital Legion, a collective of hackers, activists, and artists who believed in using technology to fight for social justice and expose corruption. The Legion claimed they had been following my work, drawn to my message of hope and resistance. They believed my visions were a roadmap, a guide to navigating the turbulent times ahead. They wanted to help me spread my message, to amplify my voice, to reach a wider audience.
We understand your hesitance, Liam. You are a man of peace, not a warrior. But our weapons are not of the physical realm. We fight with information, with knowledge, with the power of truth.
I was hesitant at first, but their words resonated with me. Maybe, just maybe, this was the path I was meant to take. Emboldened by the support of the Digital Legion, I felt a renewed sense of purpose. My visions took on a new dimension, evolving from abstract prophecies to concrete calls to action. I saw protests erupting across the globe, a wave of dissent against injustice, corruption, and the erosion of human rights.
With our technological prowess, we became Liam's amplifier. We spread his message far and wide using social media, encrypted messaging apps, and even projecting his words onto government buildings. We exposed corruption, leaked classified documents, and disrupted the propaganda machines of those in power.
Once a solitary voice in the wilderness, I found myself at the heart of a growing movement. I traveled the world, attending protests, speaking at rallies, and connecting with like-minded individuals who shared my vision of a more just and equitable world. I visited ancient spiritual sites, immersing myself in the wisdom of ancient cultures. I sought guidance from shamans and spiritual leaders, deepening my connection to the unseen world. The world began to mirror my visions with unsettling accuracy. Social unrest intensified. Economic inequality widened. Governments became more authoritarian, clamping down on dissent, curtailing freedoms, and tightening their grip on power. Fear and uncertainty gripped the hearts of many. Natural disasters intensified, mirroring the turmoil within humanity. Earthquakes shook the very foundations of society. Hurricanes ripped through coastal cities, leaving devastation in their wake. Wildfires raged across continents, consuming everything in their path. I saw in these events a reflection of humanity's collective karma, the consequences of our actions, our greed, our disregard for the planet and each other. Yet I also saw opportunity. I saw in the chaos a chance for renewal, for transformation, for a reawakening of the human spirit.
Whispers of conspiracy filled the air.
Talk of a new world order, a shadowy cabal of elites pulling the strings from behind the scenes, orchestrating chaos to consolidate their power.
Liam, through his visions, saw glimpses of this hidden hand, manipulating events, fueling conflicts, and profiting from the suffering of millions.
The media, controlled by those in power, spun narratives of fear and division.
They demonized dissent, labeled truth seekers as conspiracy theorists, and used propaganda to keep the masses distracted and compliant. The line between reality and illusion blurred, trust eroded.
Liam and the Digital Legion worked tirelessly to counter this narrative, to expose the lies and to shine a light on the truth.
They became a thorn in the side of the powerful, a beacon of hope for the disillusioned, and a target for those desperate to maintain their grip on control.
Liam's visions took on an even more urgent tone.
He saw a great spiritual war brewing, a cosmic battle between the forces of light and darkness. He saw angels and demons clashing in the heavens, their conflict spilling over into the earthly realm.
The lines were being drawn. On one side stood those who clung to fear, greed, and the pursuit of power. On the other, those who embraced love, compassion, and the interconnectedness of all beings.
It was a battle for the soul of humanity, a fight for the future of our planet.
Liam knew that this war would not be fought with guns and bombs, but with ideas, with beliefs, with the choices we make every day. He understood that the greatest weapon against darkness was not violence, but love.
As the world spiraled further into chaos, Liam felt a pull towards solitude. He embarked on a pilgrimage, a journey of self-discovery and spiritual renewal.
He traveled to sacred sites, ancient temples, and remote wilderness areas, seeking guidance from the earth and the wisdom of those who had walked this path before him.
He sat at the feet of Native American elders, listening to their stories of resilience, their connection to the land, and their deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all things.
He learned about ancient prophecies, about the cyclical nature of time, and about the importance of honoring the earth.
Liam's journey was not just geographical, but internal. He delved deep within himself, confronting his own shadows, his fears, and his doubts. He emerged from this period of introspection stronger, more centered, and more committed than ever to his mission. The path ahead was uncertain, fraught with danger and uncertainty. Yet Liam felt a sense of peace, a deep knowing that he was exactly where he was meant to be. He continued to share his visions, his insights, and his unwavering belief in the power of humanity to overcome even the greatest challenges. He had embraced his role as a messenger, a bridge between the seen and unseen worlds.
He knew that the future was not predetermined, but rather a tapestry woven from the choices we make each day.
Liam, the ordinary young man who had embarked on an extraordinary journey, had become a beacon of hope in a world teetering on the brink. His story was far from over. It was just beginning.